This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Welcome back, everyone. Ready to go way back in time with us.
As far back as we can go, really, before written history.
To the Stone Age, we're using the Wikipedia entry to kind of guide us on this one.
And it really does get interesting, like so much more than just, the typical caveman image.
Right. So help us out here. Like, what is the Stone Age to start?
Well, I mean, it's definitely defined by the use of, stone tools, but it's not just one period or one chunk of time, really.
Oh, I see.
It's actually incredibly vast, spans millions of years, and we break it up into three main periods: the Paleolithic,
Okay.
the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic.
So 3 distinct eras within the Stone Age. But, I mean, when did it actually end? When did people stop being Stone Age people?
Yeah, that gets a bit tricky. I mean, officially, we say it ends around 2000 BCE in most parts of the world with the advent of metalworking.
Metalworking, yeah.
But it didn't happen uniformly. Like places like Oceania, the Americas, their timelines are quite different.
So different parts of the world were moving at different speeds, basically.
Precisely. In fact, Australia, their prehistory is considered to have lasted until 1788.
Wow. Okay, so Stone Age for a very long time there. So we've got these different periods, but what was life actually like for the people living then? Because I think, we have this image of like the hunched over caveman dragging a club around.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely not. It's much more interesting than that.
I'm sure it is.
Let's start with the Paleolithic, the longest of these periods. And I think, early humans were so much more sophisticated than we give them credit for. They had tools, they were able to adapt to different environments, deserts, icy landscapes.
Really? Everywhere?
And they migrated across the globe.
Okay, so definitely not just hanging out in caves then.
Not at all. For example, there's a discovery at a place called Lamekwi 3
Lamekwi 3?
in Kenya. They found tools there that are 3.3 million years old.
3.3 million.
That predates the Pleistocene, which is usually associated with the earliest humans.
That's really pushing it back.
It is. So these tools, they were made of stone, obviously, used for chopping, scraping, and, a variety of other things. And it suggests that tool making, which is, crucial for human evolution, started even earlier than we thought.
That's incredible. I mean, it really changes how we think about early humans interacting with their environment. But, I mean, did they interact with other, hominids? Like Neanderthals, for instance?
Absolutely. And it's a more nuanced relationship than many people realize. We used to think of Neanderthals as like brutish and, unintelligent, but recent evidence suggests something totally different.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Well, for example, there's evidence of burial practices among Neanderthal.
Burial practices.
Yeah. So remains have been found carefully arranged, sometimes with tools or animal bones placed next to them.
So that suggests something deeper going on, right? Some sort of like belief system.
Exactly. At the very least, a level of emotional and perhaps even spiritual awareness. And, what's particularly intriguing is that some of these practices seem to focus specifically on children's burials.
Wow. Yeah, that does kind of challenge our assumptions about Neanderthals a bit.
For sure.
So we've got these tool makers migrating, developing these complex rituals.
Right.
Where do we go from there?
Well, as the last ice age began to wind down, that's when we enter the Mesolithic period.
Okay.
And this is where things start to, shift again. We see the development of more specialized tools. Microliths, which are these like tiny sharp blades, often attached to handles or shafts. And then also, fishing tackle, which suggests more refined approaches to getting food.
More advanced hunting and gathering, basically.
Exactly.
So more innovation. Were there other like significant changes happening during the Mesolithic?
Well, it was definitely a time of adaptation to a changing world. I mean, the climate was warming,
Of course, yeah.
leading to changes in plant and animal life. So humans had to adapt their, survival strategies.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that some of these advancements, like the microliths, we see them appearing first in Africa and then spreading to Europe.
Yeah.
So there was a flow of knowledge and innovation across continents even back then.
It makes you wonder how those ideas traveled. But I guess that's a mystery for another time. So what happens next?
Well, the next chapter is a big one. The Neolithic Revolution, and this is where we see the emergence of agriculture.
Ah, yes. The dawn of farming. That must have been a huge turning point.
Absolutely. Agriculture led to, the rise of villages, which later grew into towns and cities. It's the foundation for everything that comes after. And with settled life, we see the emergence of social hierarchies and, believe it or not, organized religion.
Wait, organized religion? Back in the Stone Age?
It might sound surprising, but yeah. Take, for instance, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. It's a massive complex of structures, carved pillars dating back to 9600 BCE.
Wow, that's old.
And it's considered to be the oldest known temple complex in the world, even built before the invention of pottery.
Wow, that's incredible. So from tool-making nomads to, like, temple builders?
It's quite a transformation, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
What else was happening during the Neolithic? I mean, it sounds like a pretty busy time.
Well, alongside these monumental shifts in, how people lived and organized themselves, they also found time for creativity.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Remember those Venus figurines we talked about?
Oh, yeah, the little statues?
They were making those throughout the Stone Age, not just the Neolithic. And then there's the cave art, which is, it's just an incredible glimpse into the minds of these ancient people.
I always found those cave paintings absolutely fascinating.
It's definitely worth a deeper look.
For sure. But first, let's take a second to just appreciate the scale of this transformation.
Yeah.
From, like, scavenging for food to cultivating it. From a nomadic life to, like, settled villages.
Mm-hmm.
The Neolithic was just a period of, like, immense change. It laid the groundwork for all these civilizations that would, come later.
Exactly.
It's amazing to think that all of this was happening, like, thousands of years ago.
It's mind-boggling.
Shaping the course of human history.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's still so much more to learn. But we'll have to continue this after a short break.
Stay with us.
This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Before the break, we were talking about the Neolithic, right? With agriculture, settled life, and even organized religion. But along with all of that, there's this other fascinating development, creativity.
Oh, right. The Venus figurines and those cave paintings, man, those always just, like, blow my mind.
Yeah.
Let's start with the figurines. What do we know about those?
Well, they actually appear throughout the Stone Age, not just the Neolithic, and they're found all over Europe, parts of Asia. There are these small statues of women, often with, exaggerated features like large breasts and hips, and they've led to so many theories about, what they were for.
Oh, I bet. Were they, like, fertility goddesses? That's what I always heard.
Yeah, that's a popular theory, and it makes sense, given the emphasis on those features that we associate with femininity, childbirth. But there are other interpretations too, of course.
Oh, really?
Some think they might be self-portraits, representations of ancestors, or even like teaching tools used to, show younger generations about the female body.
Interesting. So these little figurines give us a glimpse into their beliefs and values, but we're still not 100% sure what they were for.
Exactly.
Makes them even more intriguing. Okay, let's talk cave art. What can you tell me about these paintings?
They're truly remarkable. They give us this like direct line of sight into the minds of these Stone Age artists. The most famous examples are probably the ones found at Lascaux in France.
Yeah.
But there are so many other sites all over the world.
I've seen photos of Lascaux, and the detail is just, it's incredible. It's like those animals are going to like walk right off the wall. How did they even create these paintings? Like, what did they use?
So they used pigments made from natural materials like ochre, charcoal, minerals.
Okay.
And they would grind these down and mix them with, binders like animal fat or even saliva.
Wow.
And then they applied the paints using brushes made from animal hair or even just their fingers. Sometimes they would blow the pigment through like hollow reeds or bones.
That's amazing. What they were able to accomplish with such basic tools. Do we know like the meaning behind these paintings? Were they just trying to depict their world, or was there more to it?
That's a question that has like kept archaeologists and art historians busy for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Some believe they were purely representational, like a way of recording what animals they hunted or just, their environment. But others see a much, deeper meaning. They connect them to rituals, storytelling, maybe even shamanistic beliefs.
So, like, they're trying to send a message across time to us.
Right.
What about the subjects, though? I mean, it's mostly animals. Why is that?
Well, the animals that are depicted are often those that would have been important to them, for food, clothing, maybe even spiritual purposes.
Okay.
So we see bison, horses, deer, mammoths, even extinct species like aurochs.
Wow.
But it's not just animals. There are also, abstract symbols, handprints,
yeah.
even the occasional human figure.
Those handprints always get me.
Yeah.
It's like such a direct connection. Like, you can almost feel the artist there.
It's that human touch that just, transcends time. And speaking of human expression, remember those phalangeal whistles?
The ones made from, like, animal bones.
Exactly. And some experts think they were actually used as musical instruments.
Really?
Yeah. So if you, pierce a hole in a certain type of bone, usually from a bird, you can create a whistle.
Oh, I see.
So just imagine those sounds echoing through the caves, maybe accompanying some kind of ritual or dance.
So not only did they create these, like, incredible works of art visually, they might have had music, too.
It's amazing.
It really changes how we think about, Stone Age people. It wasn't just about survival.
Yeah.
I mean, they had this sense of beauty, this urge to express themselves, creatively, maybe even a spiritual connection to the world around them.
Exactly. It's this powerful reminder that art and creativity are not modern inventions.
Yeah.
They are deeply rooted in our, shared human history, going back tens of thousands of years. These expressions are a testament to just how complex the Stone Age mind was.
It makes you wonder what else they were capable of.
Yeah.
What other secrets, are still out there waiting to be discovered. I mean, it's amazing how much our understanding of this period has changed just in recent years.
No, absolutely. And every new discovery just sheds more light on this fascinating, chapter of human history.
Wow, what a journey. I mean, from those earliest tools to agriculture to cave art, it's clear the Stone Age was so much more than, what we usually think.
Yeah, it really shows how adaptable and clever those early humans were.
Yeah.
I mean, they had so many challenges, but they didn't just survive, they thrived. And, they created things that still have an impact today.
It really is amazing, isn't it? What gets me is how much our understanding of this period has changed, even, like, recently.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that history is always changing, always being updated.
Right. New discoveries,
Yeah.
new ways of looking at things. Makes you wonder what else is out there, what we haven't found yet.
Oh, there's definitely more to learn. Archaeology is always evolving, new technologies, and as those develop, we're going to be able to, piece together the story of humanity even better.
So, zooming out a bit, what can we actually learn from these, Stone Age ancestors of ours? Is there something we can take away from them, even today?
I think one big takeaway is, resilience, adaptability. Stone Age people, I mean, they were constantly facing challenges, right? Harsh climates, dangerous animals. And they didn't just survive, they found ways to innovate, to create. It's a reminder that even when things are tough, we can still, find a way.
I like that. That even when faced with adversity, human ingenuity, it can win out.
Yeah.
Their story is like a testament to how strong the human spirit can be. And it also makes you think about, like, how connected we all are across time.
Oh, yeah.
We're all part of this long story, and to really understand who we are now, we have to understand where we came from.
Definitely. And as we, deal with our own challenges today, it's good to remember the lessons of those who came before us. They had their own struggles, right? But those experiences offer real insights into human nature and our ability to get past obstacles.
I mean, think about it. Their legacy is all around us.
Yes.
The food we eat, the tools we use,
Yeah.
even how our societies are set up. The Stone Age might be over, but it still shapes our world today.
And it's a powerful reminder that we're all part of this huge story of human history.
Yes.
And what we do today is going to affect the future for generations to come.
So as we finish up our, deep dive into the Stone Age, we want to encourage you all to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. There's just so much amazing history out there waiting to be uncovered. And the better we understand our past, the better we can understand, where we are now and where we're going.
And who knows, maybe someday people will look back at our time with that same sense of wonder, that curiosity that we have when we think about, the Stone Age.
That's an awesome thought. Thanks for joining us on this trip through time. Until next time, stay curious and keep those imaginations going.
Absolutely. May your own explorations of history continue to, inspire you and teach you new things.
This is your need to know.